the Conservatives that are trying to use this, Madam Speaker, in my opinion, for nothing more than political chaos, political gain. Member from Regina Capel knows full well of the countless violations that his standard would have applied to him when he was a speaker, but for some reason, there's absolutely no shame in his approach when he makes the demands that he's making on the current Speaker of the House, who, by the way, as I started off my speech, acknowledged his error and apologized and asked for forgiveness. Now, I told you how the member from Regina Capel dealt with similar scenarios. He threatened parliamentary privilege upon people if they continued to challenge his potential bias nature while sitting in that chair. What message are we sending to people? What message does this send to our children? You know, if you apologize and you ask forgiveness, you're going to get doubled down on by the Conservatives and the Bloc. They're going to go after you even harder. They see you as weak now. They see you as a political target. They see you as somebody that they can exploit you for political gain. And that's all that's happening. That's what's happened with this issue from the beginning. It's how it started with the Bloc outdoing the Conservatives. It's how this was completely conducted in Proc. It's how this is being conducted now. There's just absolutely no sense of being able to rectify with the fact that somebody has made an apology, somebody has said that they will attempt to do better, and that somebody owns up to their mistakes, which is exactly what we're seeing. Instead, we hear from the Bloc, who are now saying, oh, well, new information came to light because the member from the Speaker was at a provincial Liberal volunteer event. You know, I listened with interest when the Bloc spoke earlier, because two fallacies they kept repeating was they've referred to it as a fundraiser. It wasn't. And it was a volunteer appreciation event, and they said it set a precedent. It certainly doesn't set a precedent. The only thing that has set a precedent with respect to this issue is the manner in which the Bloc and the Conservatives are treating it. Because the precedent has been set. The precedent was set most likely long before the member from Regina Capel, but it certainly was a precedent that he upheld because he continued to act in a manner that he now deems as being completely inappropriate. The precedent was set, and so the Bloc want you to believe that, oh, well, if we set this precedent now, it changes everything going into the future. I got news for the Bloc. This is not precedent setting.
That's right.
So, just so we're absolutely clear on this issue, Madam Speaker, the Bloc Québécois takes great exception, suddenly, to the Speaker going to a volunteer appreciation event at an Ontario Liberal event, so not even, I don't know how it works in Quebec, maybe the Bloc Québécois federally and their provincial counterparts all get together, but I can tell you in Ontario, the Ontario Liberals and the federal Liberals are two completely separate entities. We see each other at Christmas time in my riding anyhow and say hello and shake hands, but